Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Kim Dalsgaard Christensen. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer at Continia Software. And the agenda for today is very simple. I will give you a short heads up on Continia. The What's New part will be presented by Lotte, as you have already heard, Lotte Sandbjerg Weilgaard. That is our Global Senior Solution Specialist for Expense Management. For those of you who haven't met Continia before this webinar, very short, Continia is an international software vendor. We focus 100% building solution, enhancing the financial capabilities within Microsoft Dynamics Business Central. Each and every solution is delivered through our partners. All our solutions are available on Microsoft App Stores, and 1st of October, all solutions were upgraded to new version 2024 R2, supporting the new Business Central 2024 Wave 2, both in the Continia and Microsoft world, also called version 25. Within this month, we will release extensions as well, supporting on-premises version 2 years back, plus the BC14, the last FOB version. For notice, this version 2024 R2 will be the last version where we include BC14, the FOB version. Companies who remain on this version will also for the time to come. This is the version you will get. There will be no further version releases, and within 2 years, we do not offer support on this version any longer. So please also notice there is no BC14 FOB available for our new releases animated here, sustainability, banking, and finance.
Hi everyone. Yes, my name is Lotte Weilgaard, and I'm excited to have the opportunity today to walk you through the new features and updates in expense management for version 2024 R2. We'll cover the highlights that will streamline processes and deliver even more value to your daily operations. And as Kim mentioned, if you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to write them in the chat, and my colleague Julian, who is the engineering manager, will answer your questions. We will begin by outlining the agenda for the day and setting expectations for the insights and discussions ahead. The key features and functionalities that will be highlighted today are designed to deliver value across all markets, ensuring relevant takeaways for everyone in attendance. We'll start by exploring the web approval portal, which has received a significant and refreshing update. So a new dashboard is introduced in the Continia web approval portal. So now there's a full view, which will minimize time and frustration for approvers approving in different companies. Why did we do this? Because with this new view, we would like to eliminate approvers from switching companies to see what needs approval and minimizing their valuable time. What have been done? Approvers now will get a full overview in one page to focus on all types of documents and for all companies, as they can see both document type and company in the overview. How is it working? Depending on how the approvers would like to start their processing of approval, they can filter on both company and document type. So let's jump in. Full screen. So this is the new look on the web approval portal. If you are an approver and you need to approve for several different employees and in several companies. So you see everything in one view. So instead of having to go and switch between the company up here, you can then see everything related to your approvals here. You can then filter on company. So if I wanted to start with the UK company, I can start with that, finish all my approvals, and then go back to the other company. Or I can simply, if I wanted to start by approving different document types, I can select the purchase if I'm an approver for both invoices and expenses and mileages and other documents for expenses, and simply filter it here or clear all to see the full view. So we hope that this will minimize the switching between the different companies to give a better overview to prioritize what needs to be approved first and then after that. Okay. Next thing in line is our new solution, Continia Sustainability. Sustainability is important for companies because it ensures long-term viability, enhances the brand reputation, and meets growing consumer and investor expectations. It helps reduce costs, fosters innovation, and strengthens regulatory compliance. Additionally, it boosts employee engagement and attracts talent, while positioning companies to stay competitive in a changing global landscape. So, by adopting sustainability practices, businesses can drive growth, manage risk, and create lasting value for all stakeholders. So, are you ready to track and report on your company's environmental impact? The introduction of the Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive in the European Union means that sustainability reporting will soon become a priority for your organization if it isn't already. Even so, tracking your carbon emissions in-house is difficult without experience. But the good news is you don't have to be an ESG expert to calculate your climate impact, because Continia Sustainability is an integrated carbon accounting tool that takes advantage of the financial data already available in your Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. So this helps you save time on your workflows and quickly point out ways to reduce carbon emissions. So by integrating with expense management, it provides seamless and comprehensive environmental reporting related to employee spending, because that's important too. So once you have installed Continia Sustainability, Expense Management recognizes the installation and will present an extended set of system field types. So you see here, this is the list of fields available in Expense Management, and there are new fields added once Continia Sustainability has been installed. And these new fields are calculated automatically after synchronization. They can also be refreshed by going into configured fields and reset to default. So how does it work? The environmental posting is added to the expense type posting setup. So now the general ledger account is added to it, but there has been a few more columns added to the setup. So now we have the environmental account type and the environmental account number available as well. So if you would like to set it up on individual expense types, meaning it will be posted directly to the environmental account added to the expense posting setup, or if you would like the environmental posting to be specified even further, the Continia Sustainability dependency will be your friend. So as an example, the employee have purchased fuel. The expense posting setup has a setup for the environmental posting. And additionally to that, some fields will be showing when the employee fills in the expense to add additional information. Here's another example where the expense type travel flight is chosen by the expense user. Now additional information will be required, such as air travel, is it business class or economy class, which airport are you flying from and which to, and if there's a return trip. So all these additional information is used for carbon accounting. So let's take a look at it in live demo. Okay, so now I am in expense management. If I go to expense types, I'll have a look at the fuel diesel. So see, when you look at this right now, it looks exactly as it usually does. But if I go to the setup page, I see two new columns, the environmental account type and the account number. So all of these are linked to the environmental reporting. If I go to the air travel, you see there's a new column here showing the Continia sustainability dependency, which is only showing if I have installed Continia sustainability. And let me go edit this list and have a look at this. Because if I open this one, you see that this is a field type. So if I view the field type, I have several options here, economy or business class. But there's even more linked to this. Because if I go to configured fields, and you see these are all the new fields being used for continuous sustainability. If I go to the expense type, I see that if I choose the expense type travel flight, all of these new fields will be showing for the user to fill in. So let's try and go to the mobile app. Now I'm logging in as an expense user. So just to show you how it looks from their point of view. I create a new expense. I choose the expense type and I search for travel flight. And now all of these new fields are showing. When I go in here, these are all the setup from the sustainability solution. So if I choose economy class, and now the interesting part, because will it pick up the different airports? Yes, it will. So if I'm going from Amsterdam, then the airport will show. I am going to, let's say, I'm going to Nice. And now the distance has been calculated automatically by choosing the from and to airport. And now I simply have to choose whether it's a return trip or not. It's not. There are no other fields to fill in than the amount and the receipt, of course. But I have prepared something that we can have a look at inside Business Central, because I just prepared one so that we can have a look at one of the expenses that I've sent in. So now we have an area here, sustainability, which is capturing all the information, both that the user have put in and the setup that we've done on the expense type. So everything will be posted in the sustainability accounting. Great. Next thing in line is also quite interesting because now we can handle purchase invoices. We've been able to handle purchase invoices in expense management, but with this new feature, customers that use both document capture and expense management will now be able to process the purchase in both solutions. Document capture for the ease of purchase processing and for the OCR capabilities, and expense management for refunds to employees. So today it's a manual process to check whether the invoice was sent both by the employee on an expense and also through document capture. And this is a time-consuming and boring process, and it could cost a lot of money if invoices are paid twice. So what we have done now is that we have made a functionality where the expense management identifies the attachment type. So if it's an invoice, it will give a warning to the admin telling that this is an invoice, so you might need to check in document capture or process it in document capture to ensure that it hasn't been sent in through document capture. What will happen then is that expense management will only process the payment and handle the employee refund. The posting of the invoice is handled in document capture, where checks will be carried out as usual in document capture to ensure admins are made aware when similar purchases have been processed. So this will prevent posting and paying the same invoice both in expense management and document capture. Great. So the benefit to prevent posting and paying the same invoice twice. So I'll jump back to my solution, and we have an expense sent in by the user. And now it's telling me that it seems like it's a purchase invoice being added to this one. So would you like to link it to an applied or apply it to a purchase document, or send it to document capture to run the process of handling the invoice there? So what I do here, I simply process with document capture. Then it gets a new status that this document is sent to document capture and waiting to be processed. So now I can finish off the expense inside expense management, and then the employee will be paid the amount they've used by their private, in this case, by their private card. If I go to document capture, I see that there's a document ready to import. So the usual process handling invoices in document capture is to import the file, then go to ready to register. If the invoice was in document capture already, it would have notified me that this is a duplicate, but in this case, it's not a duplicate, so I'll just simply register it and finish off the handling in document capture. Let me, oh, sorry, I just needed to go back to show you what happens, because what I wanted to show now is once the invoice has been posted in document capture and the expense has been posted in expense management, I am now able to see all the different entries on posted expenses. So I will have all the relevant information about what is the expense and what is the document number in document capture. So I have all the information. How is it posted on the general ledger, etc. . Great. Okay. Next thing in line is that we have enriched the job queue setup. So the job queue setup can now be set up through expense management setup page, allowing the admin to easily create and remove recurring job entries such as synchronization and approval reminders with just one click. The feature simplifies the process, saving time by eliminating the need to manually locate job codes for expense management task. So with this new functionality, you can easily start all relevant job queues for expense management without having to go to Continia Docs, finding all the codes, typing it in manually yourself. So we have done the main job for you. You can now use your pretty head on something else. So I'll just jump into the solution again, show you where it is, expense management setup, go to the setup page, go to job queue setup, and I can schedule all of them, or I can go to a single one, schedule it, start the time, and it's now in process. So I have the full overview of all the job queues here, and everything has been prepared. Another thing we've worked on is enhancing the Microsoft 365 sign-in, because right now there are two ways for the expense user to log into the mobile app and the expense portal, either by email or password or the Microsoft 365 sign-in. So if you would like to enforce your expense users to use Microsoft 365 sign-in, this is now available on the Continia user setup, either when you create new users or want to change their way of logging in on existing users. So there's a new view on the Continia user setup. Now there's an option to choose the login type, and if the login type is set to Microsoft 365, the user will then get a welcome email directly linking them to sign in with Microsoft 365. So one thing to remember is that if the login type is Microsoft 365, you cannot turn it back to Continia Online, but if it's on Continia Online, you can easily change it to sign in, that they should sign in with Microsoft 365. So you can go up, but not down. So let's just quickly just go and have a look there as well. So it's the Continia user setup, and it's here under expense management, the login type. So you can choose between Continia Online or Microsoft 365. Okay. We've also improved the visibility on expense reports. So if you're using expense reports where you would like the expense users to bundle documents, we would like you to have the access easily to see all the comments if there are any. So currently the comments were, or previously the comments were visible on each document line, and you would have to go to line and see the comments. It was a bit of clicking a few times with your mouse to get the comments, but with this new improvement, you can see all the details on the line of each document. And if there are several documents to one document, you can open the comments page. And that one, of course, I would like to show you as well. So let's see, I have an expense report here, and it will give a warning that there are 2 errors and 4 warnings. And if I wanted to have a look exactly what it is on which document, I will then open the expense report. I can see, okay, this one was sent in without an attachment. This one is a MasterCard payment type, so it would need the transaction to come in to be matched. Here, there are two comments. So instead of having to go to, as previously, to line and I simply go here and say, okay, the purchase contract must be added to this, and there's an attachment missing. And it will show no matter how many documents you have on your expense report, so it will be way easier for you to get an overview of exactly the documents that needed your handling before it can be sent and flow to approval and further in the process. We have also enhanced the attachment control on mileage expenses. And this feature is mainly used in the UK market, but I'll inform you anyway, because you might have either you are in the UK market or you have customers where they have a company there. So I think it would be valuable to inform you. So with this new feature, it will allow you to define attachment rules for mileage vehicles, similar to how it's done for expense types. So as we have the setting on the individual expense type, you can define whether it's an optional to add the attachment or a mandatory process. So once vehicle settings have been set or the vehicle is visible in the configured fields, then you will see the attachment column in the vehicle list. So you would be able to, if there's a difference, if you have a lot of different cars, vehicles listed here, linked to different users, you can set up the individual setting for attachments. But if the vehicle is not configured, the attachment settings will also be available in the global expense management setup. Or sorry, this is where you enable the attachment. But if the vehicle is not configured on the mileage, you will then set it up globally for the whole company. And then the functionality mirrors on the mobile app and the expense portal, as with the expenses, so that they could easily add an attachment based on the configured settings. In the UK markets, where attachments will be mandatory for VAT claims, this feature provides full control over attachment requirements, and companies will be able to post and claim mileage VAT even if receipts are stored in other systems. Now we're going to the mobile app and the expense portal. So we have added the visibility of attachment on allocations. So on the mobile app, if you want to split your expense on different expense types or dimensions, you will now be able to see the attachment on the allocation page. So no need to remember the details or writing it down on a note, or by remembering it by heads, going back and forth. All the details of the attachment will be available when you do allocations on the mobile app. Before I show you this, I just wanted to take the other one, which is also related to attachment, but on the expense portal. So we are constantly updating both the mobile app and the expense portal to align with each other. And now the ability to add open documents to an expense report, which we've had for quite a while in the mobile app, this has now been available in the expense portal as well. Now it's time to go to the live. So I will show you these two things, both the visibility of the attachment on allocations and the streamlined document attachment in the expense portal. Let's see if it's up and running. Okay, I have an expense I would like to create here. I'll pick up the attachment. It's the hotel expense. Now the attachment is visible here. If I go to, where did I? Oh, there it's hiding. Add allocation lines. And I create a new line. The attachment is available. So I can simply have a look at it and say, oh, how much was it that breakfast was? That was $25 US. I put that in. And I can put that on food for breakfast. And I'm done. So it will be visible on the first page and on the allocation lines when I open it from here. Okay, jumping to the expense portal. I just need to open that one here. If I have an expense report, let's say I would like to trip to London. Now I know that there's an open expense line that's been created from the credit card transaction. As in the mobile app, I can now add existing documents. So I can simply open this one, add it to the expense report, and it is now lying there. So you have the same flexibility to do exactly the same functionality on the expense portal as on the mobile app. That was all from me. I thank you all for attending. We hope you enjoyed the walkthrough of the new stuff and you had all your questions answered during the presentation. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the day.
Yeah, thank you, Lotte. Also, thank you from my side. Bye-bye.